Heartland Season 18, Episode 4 has Nathan back in the picture, and Amy is dismayed when she sees an attractive young woman walk out of his house with him, giving her PTSD symptoms and reminding her of when she went to visit Finn at his house and was greeted at the door by a young woman back in Season 15. Even though Amy has said she is through with Nathan, she's pretty upset about the mystery woman, especially because Nathan keeps hemming and hawing and not really explaining who she really is and just says this.
That's not what it looks like.
Yeah, just drop that by the ranch when you can.
Amy, there's nothing between the woman you saw and me.
So why can't you just tell me who she is?
It's not that simple, Amy.
That's not an answer. I don't want to push you to be someone who you're not. So maybe we should just stay as we were. Friendly neighbors.
But more about that in a minute. First, there are two more storylines that I wanted to talk about. So in this storyline, the town barber is dissing Heartland and saying that Heartland is going under, and this sends Lou and Tim into a tizzy.
What do you need to know? Where'd you hear those Heartland rumors? Oh, you know, Tim, how it goes. Here and there and here. Cut the BS. You know none of it's true.
Of course not. And I never believed any of that stuff about your product.
What about our product?
Well, they're just stupid rumors that you shouldn't pay any attention to, that Garland dumped you because you were having quality issues.
What?
That's what I said. What? Ridiculous.
And in the end, Jack goes into the barbershop and says they're expanding the ranch to include raising bisons for slaughter as well.
Here's a little something that you can let slip to all the townsfolk who seem to have nothing better to talk about than Heartland beef. Our product, our family, and our land ain't going anywhere.
Anyways, in another storyline, Amy is working with a polo horse that needs her help. Sorry, I know, that sounded ridiculous. A polo horse that needs help to learn to be a polo horse. Remember when Ty would admonish Amy for working with horses that didn't really need her help? Well, this situation sounds a little bit like that.
It's okay. He's afraid of the mallet.
That's the first problem, yes. He also doesn't like other horses charging at him.
Well, those aren't great qualities for a polo horse.
Yeah, I know.
Anyways, in the end, Amy is able to get the horse over its fear of mallets and of other horses charging at it with Jessica's help. In Katie's storyline, Katie is asked out by her friend Brandon, but she sort of interestingly decides to go to an after book club session instead. Brandon is understandably upset.
Brandon, hey, have you heard of the Vancouver Fine Arts School?
Yeah, I don't really want to hear about that right now, Katie.
What's wrong?
You ditched me last night? You really don't get how much that sucked?
I'm sorry. I just figured you'd go with Ellie.
I didn't want to go with Ellie. I wanted to go with you.
I thought we were just friends.
Yeah, well, I guess I should have been more clear. I was nervous. I like you, Katie.
And then he's even more upset after Katie says this.
Look, Brandon, when I met you and Ellie and we all started hanging out, I was so happy. I don't want that to change. Can we just be friends?
Yeah.
In the end, Amy is able to find out who that mysterious, attractive young woman was who was coming out of Nathan's house. Well, it turns out that she's actually Nathan's father's nurse. As it turns out that Nathan Sr. has Alzheimer's and Nathan is taking care of him.
What your family must be going through.
Do you want to meet him?
You gotta teach you how to do this, son. I never did, and it's time I corrected that.
No, you teach me later, Dad. I want to introduce you to somebody.
Don't don't be ridiculous. I recognize Marion anywhere.
Mr. Price, it's great to see you.
Always happy to see my favorite trainer. Don't know where I'd be if you hadn't helped Sammy.
This episode overall, well, it's another one that, in my opinion, was just okay. But I personally wouldn't watch it again, and I give it a solid 6. There were some touching moments and emotional outbursts by Lisa, Jessica, and a few other characters, which made it a sort of touching episode, but it wasn't uplifting. I think one of the greatest things about Heartland in seasons 1 through 15 was that they would end each episode on an uplifting note, and you felt better from watching the show. Not worse, like a lot of shows. And it's that beauty, the magic of Heartland, and it's a fairly unique feature of that show of being uplifting. And I think we saw a glimpse of that in Heartland Season 18, Episode 2, and I sure hope we see it again in the next episode. What did you think of Season 18, Episode 4? Was it all you wished it would be? Or do you feel like me that it was just missing that Heartland magic? Let me know in the comments below. And bye for now.